Hello, and welcome to Jack's Garage. Nice. A place where we only wear the most appropriate of footwear. Today we're going to be applying some 3-in-1 oil because this chain is absolutely, totally dry and it is making bad noises when we ride this. So let's hop underneath and let's get this lubed up.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing is just applying some of the oil to the chain ring. Then we're going to give it some turns, crank it, and get it a little bit more lubricated because right now it's making bad crunchy noises. So with our trusty 3-in-1, we're just going to apply a couple of daubs now. Safe to say this thing may require a new chain. But for now, I'm just going to nudge the camera. But for now, I think this should be good to tie it on over. So let's give it a little crank. See if it needs a little more help from the trusty 3-in-1. You know, it's said that this oil works for absolutely anything, and it has exactly 3 functions in one container. Some say, no, we're not doing that. Just a little more. Doop, doop, doop. Going to be doing the same thing, and maybe we discover this isn't the problem and it's rubbing somewhere else. Wouldn't that be fun? Clickety clack, here goes Jack. And in reverse, just because we can. Ooh. Oh, it didn't like that. We just witnessed the first time the chain fell off. When touching stuff you don't want to touch, trust shower camera 6112 PF gloves. The nicest thing is you can make it clean itself. Well, sort of. Ooh, it's a tight little bugger. I'll have to get this one off. In fact, I'm definitely gonna remove this with the gun. Now, is this overkill for these little tie nuts? Yes, but this was free, so we're gonna use it anyway. Okay. That is a little bit better. Okay, we got the chain back on, so that's cool. Let's use Gunny and get this wheel back where it should be. So we're gonna ugga-dugga these in. And ugga-dugga number 5, if I can get this on. Okay, we have had a development, or rather, I've just looked at something, because I didn't look at it before. Now we get the angle just about right. We can see in here, that is a brake shoe. So these actually have what looks to be like cable pull drum brakes. I have no idea what size shoe that is, nor do I have a clue how to take it off. I'm assuming it has something to do with removing this, but honestly I have no idea. For now, we're going to leave that, and we're just going to tidy up some of these loose wires, because I think you'll agree that that is a little bit too close to that. Okay, so we're underneath, and we are resetting the chain tension so we can get the chain back on. There's this bolt, there's this one holding it in place, and we basically want this so the motor can turn, hit on this, and then we can get it over this sprocket and onto the big one. Then once it's on, we tighten this up quite a bit, and that will keep the chain on. So we're going to do that now. Okay, and just like that, we've got the chain slightly on there. So now what we're going to do is get under here, tighten this up, and push this so this isn't so flappy and loose. I hope this works. Something I found out upon the second time this damn chain came off is this motor was actually over this way. So these were completely out of alignment, and that's why the chain was falling off. So underneath here, we can see it's 4 bolts. I've replaced one. Yeah. No prizes for guessing which one's the new one. and I just shuffled it over so that it would line up. So now the chain stays nice and tight, and this shouldn't come off. We are going to be putting this on this cord. There's a reason for this, and you'll see. Down to this, now to this, and we're going to get them connected to this piece. Okay, all settled up. We're just going to close this up, and then I'll show you why I have done this. Alright, so now I can show you. We've got this hooked up to this wire, and this is the charger that I'm using. So we're going to probably mount it somewhere here or in there just to keep it tidy and out of the way. But this now means if I plug this in here, alright, that's in there. This actually runs all the way to the back to this outlet. So we're just going to plug in some mains power from over there. And this now means that this can charge as it was intended, just not using a vintage, old, lead acid, bulky battery charger. Moment of truth. Doesn't fit. All right, take two. Shades a little piece off. So that works. Sweet. We have one of these gauges, which does work. And we're trying to figure out where it should go on here. We have part one of the wiring in, positive on the left, negative on the right. And we're looping these underneath and up to the batteries. We're gonna hook these up and test to see if the dial is functional. Those are all tightened up. I thought my 3/8 would be fine to fit in there, but I was wrong. I've always marked these tiny little 1/4" drive things, but today I actually needed it. So thanks, little buddy. Dial in position. We've got the positive. What we're gonna do, connect it there. All right, we are good. We've got a little indicator, so that's fun. Okay, next up on the agenda, we've got rust patches, all these rust patches, and these patches too. What this is, it's an acid wash. It neutralizes rust, but it also makes old paint look different, so this doesn't look very good. So what we're gonna do now, and I say we, my wife is gonna do because she wanted to volunteer for this, is basically do the entire thing using this Rust-Oleum Rust Dissolver. Bathe or brush, or bath or brush, you decide. So she's just going to apply this to make it a little bit more uniform. It's not that much different, but it is better than it was before the treatment. We are trying to figure out why is the flasher relay system not working. What we have tried to do is attaching a negative wire to the ground of this to get it power, but that doesn't seem to be doing anything. There's a little nubbin on the inside. We didn't get anything. So coming back over here, the way that we found to get power is I'm just jumping from the positive to this and using this spare switch. Just like that. Come around here. Well, the light works. What we then need to figure out, so now we know that this is lacking power when it's on this switch, is how do we get this power to the relay in addition? So we're going to find out. Just to confirm that this switch is okay, we've done the same thing as before, hot to this, turned it in the opposite position because that makes sense, and we have a light. So now we're going to do something a little different. What we are going to attempt is putting this on the red power wire here to try and just give it a little jump, and this should be enough to send it up that yellow into the switch to get this thing to turn on and maybe do the relay thing. But let's see, I'm no electrician. On the topic of flashes, we have this package from eBay, and inside box number 1 we have replacements for these, so that'll look good on this side. Can you see it already? Here, let me help you. This comes off, and that goes on. That looks much better. we have figured out how to mount these, so I can now flick on and off, and we have lights. There's no relay, so instead I'm going to have to manually, which kind of works, but I think you can see how this would get pretty annoying after a while. So we're going to change it for a different part, so I don't have to keep on doing this back and forth thing, because that's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. Coming in live from the Tiny Car Workshop. This is the old one, and it looks fine. But I think somebody returned this, because I've installed this new one, just picked up at the store. And if we come around here, give this a click, we are indeed turning left. And just for good measure, if I want to turn the other way, I can do that too. This is a great step in road safety. And we have an update. On the headlights, we have a replacement. And all we need to do now is just get this into the trim piece, because it looks a little bit sad and lopsided at this point. Now I won't pretend. This did go flying somewhere into the abyss over here, because I let it hang out. So maybe don't do that. These are the retaining clips. We're going to get this bulb in there, and then we can get it mounted. That looks good. Let's get her installed. Fantastic news! We pull this, and would you look at that? Don't that look sweet? And that just about wraps it up for today. It's been a good section of progress made. Still plenty more to do, but I'm really excited that the turn signals work, and we have 2 fully functioning headlights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.